So I lead an innovation team for Salesforce Global Professional Services. And hi team, love you. So our AI journey started about a year and a half ago. We were at a Salesforce community conference, Your Architect Dreaming in Prague. And I think it's a testament to to what you are able to exchange at conferences, right? So I spent an hour there with the CTO of Elements, Adrian King. Are you there? And we were just talking about all the amazing opportunities with RAG and AI, and being so excited about the possibilities. And so in that hour that we spent together over lunch, we kind of drew the rudimentary version of this architecture on a napkin. And so fast forward a couple of months, the team implemented this, right? And so it's great, it's working, got us into TDX last year, but it's also an example of a DIY AI solution, right? So what's happening here in a nutshell is at the center of this is MuleSoft, right? So we have MuleSoft that is receiving a question being asked by an end user, either through our Services Central, that's the name of our website, our knowledge base for global professional services. All 10,000 employees in global professional services use it to ask questions on how to implement Salesforce at customers, or in the Slack app. And so MuleSoft receives the question, transforms it into a search, goes out to the search engine that is indexing all sorts of knowledge bases and content, and then uses that as the context to send a prompt to the AI via the trust layer and back to the end user. So it's a lot of steps. It's pretty complicated, but it was really cool to get it working, right? So anyway, so we were kind of happy, angelically happy, right? That we had something working, that we were innovating, right? That we were getting all these learnings and working with this exciting new technology. And on the other hand, so that's like the little devilly side, we were also seeing hallucinations. We were not always getting the right answers to the questions that people were asking. And this new kid was coming to town, right? Agentforce was like starting to become a product offering of Salesforce. Prompt build is starting to happen. So we also wanted to be Salesforce on Salesforce. So we wanted to start using that product as well. And so what did we do? Well, we started off with business analysis, right? Because how can you build something if you don't know what you want to build? And so we were on the very fortunate side of having access to all the data of that AI solution that we had built, right? So we had access to all the questions that the employees had been asking, all the answers that the AI had been generating. And so we used all of that data, thousands of questions and answers, to go through it and understand what are the types of questions that people are asking of our AI. And so we were able to group it into these eight subject areas. And then, so as a next step, we were like, okay, so we're not getting always very good answers. So what can we do to improve that? And so we started to look at the data and at the answers generated, and we started to understand, okay, what do we have the data to provide the answers? And if so, what is that data? So we had that. So we had the subject areas that we needed to be able to answer the questions about, and we also had the data. And so now all we needed to do was build it in Agent Builder, right? Well, not exactly. We had our own Jack moment, right? So we didn't really know where to start. Like we weren't sure, like, are those subject areas that you just saw, those 8 types of questions, are they topics? And do we then let the reasoning engine figure out when to route to which topic? Or is it something else? And so initially we just started playing, right? I think at some point we had like about 5 topics, then we went down to 2. But we were getting a little bit stuck, right? And so after a few weeks of that, it was like the last week before Christmas, and I had a little bit of downtime. And so what happened was I reached out to the Elements VP of Product, Avery, So we have a very good relationship with Elements. Elements Cloud is a preferred tool for our global professional services, so we use it on Salesforce implementations all the time. And so what I had been hearing some rumors that the Elements team had been working on this way to transform like process maps into agent instructions. So anyway, so I asked Xavier if he was like okay to spend an hour with me and show me what he had, etc. And so he was fine, and we did it. And so since we had done the business analysis, it took us, in that hour, we were just able to map out this thing that you see here. And at the time, a few things clicked in my head. It made me realize that, in fact, all of those things that I wanted to answer questions about were a single topic. And instead, what we needed, and that's the first box, the first action that you see there, we needed like a prompt template action to allow the AI to guess the subject. And then based on whatever subject it was, we were able to change the behaviors, right? Sometimes we'd say, oh, we can't really help you with that if it's outside of the list of subjects that we're able to answer stuff for. Sometimes, and that's the second, the yellow box there, answer based on search. I don't know if you can see it, but that's basically doing exactly what you saw MuleSoft do in the original architecture. So we were able to reuse that building block, but now wrapped inside an agent action. And the same for the other one. If it was a people question, we would need a different piece of logic to find out the answer to that question. So at the time, instruction generation was not yet a part of the product. So I don't know exactly what happened. Somebody somewhere on a server at the side of desk took the process that we mapped out with Xavier and gave me back this set of instructions that you see there. We pasted it into our agent builder, and we started seeing immediately very good results. We were getting I think from the get-go, we were getting a 80+% correct subject identification. So we were super excited. So the other thing that clicked in our head was that, okay, so if that is a topic, now we actually need another topic. So our topics, first one, classification, description going in, scope of the topic in the box, answer services questions. We actually needed one to also be able to provide support on the website. Questions around what kind of content do you support? Just questions about the website, realistically. And so that we ended up designing that as an additional topic as well. And if you drill down on that, you will see the different solutions there. And then finally, we also decided to create our own off-topic topic. So I don't know if any of you have ever been testing with Agent Builder, but it just tends to go into off-topic at the moments that you really don't want it. So it turns out that by adding in your own off-topic, it overrides the out-of-the-box off-topic, and you can have a little bit more control. So all of this rolling up into the agent interaction map, which is the same thing that Jack showed you, right? And so all of the ones that I just showed you were under the kind of FAQ skill. And now we're using this to talk to the business and understand what are the next skills that we want to be adding to our agent. So we have some ideas around creating a knowledge collector. Nobody wants to per se write knowledge articles, right? Nobody wants to pay taxes. Tax collector, knowledge collector. We'll see if it works out the way we want it, right? And so, but the idea being that by having this business view, we can talk to the business and plan out what's the next step. But talking about the week before Christmas, we had this live in production on the 27th of Jan, and we're getting extremely good feedback from our end users on the quality of the answers and the business value that it's providing. So super happy about that.